Good evening. Tonight's Committee of Adjustment hearing is being held by video conference and live stream video on the town's live stream webpage at oakville.ca. This is a hearing to consider applications for minor variance and consents held under the authority of the Planning Act. Please keep in mind the intent of this process is to review the application that is before the committee, listen to the evidence, and then make a decision. This process is not intended to be used to resolve any concerns or disputes that may exist between the town, individuals, or organizations. If a request for a deferral is made and the committee grants such a request, the applicant or authorized agent must contact the Secretary-Treasurer to schedule a new hearing date. In order to conduct an effective and efficient electronic hearing, we have adopted the following process. If you are watching the live stream of this hearing on oakville.ca and you wish to speak to an item on the agenda, you can call 905-815-6095. Again, that's 905-815-6095. The phone number is also posted on your screen below in the live stream page at oakville.ca. Staff will be standing by to take your call. When you call in, staff will ask for your name and item number that you wish to address and your telephone number, and further instructions will be provided to call back during the video conference. When the chair of the committee polls for interested parties, you will have to press *6 to unmute yourself. The applicant or agent will then be given an opportunity to briefly explain to the committee the basis of the application, answer any questions that may arise. Maximum 5 minutes will be provided for your presentation. You will need to state your full name and address for the record, and any submission beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. All delegations must also state their full name and address for the record. A maximum of 5 minutes will be provided to make your presentation. All remarks and questions are to be directed to the chair, and any submissions beyond the 5 minutes will be at the discretion of the committee. The applicant or agent will then be provided with a further 5 minutes to respond to comments made by interested parties and answer any questions that may arise. If the applicant or agent has any concerns with particularly found in the staff report, that will be the time to advise us. The matter will then be taken to the committee for a decision, and this will mark the end of all discussions. Any person desiring a notice of decision for an application must provide a written request, preferably through email, to the Secretary-Treasurer. Written notice of the committee's decision will be mailed no later than 10 days for minor variance and 15 for consent applications to the applicant, agent, and any other person who has filed such a request. The last day to appeal the decision to the Ontario Land Tribunal will be noted on the decision. Only the applicant's specified persons or public bodies may appeal the committee's decision to the Ontario Land Tribunal. In November of 2022, the Bill 23, the legislation, the More Homes Built Faster Act, amended that Planning Act to remove appeal rights for members of the public. If no appeal is received within the prescribed timeframe, the decision of the committee becomes final and binding. And the Secretary-Treasurer will then notify the applicant and anyone who has received a copy of the decision through written correspondence. People participating in the hearing are to be courteous to and respectful of the members of the committee, town staff, and any other person participating in the electronic hearing. Tonight's electronic hearing is being video recorded and available for future viewing at oakville.ca. Thank you. You have no regrets this evening. Any declarations of pecuniary interests? Go ahead, Mr. Tulowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'm going to declare a conflict on CABA 152 at 1300 1350 Bronny Road. The applicant's a business partner with my employer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tulowski. Any other declarations? I see none. Very well. Madam Secretary, now we'll take requests for deferral or withdrawal of applications. If anyone in the audience is seeking to request a deferral this evening for an application that is before us, please raise your hand and the Secretary-Treasurer will invite you to speak.
We have one hand up, two hands up. One moment, I'll move them in.
evening, Madam Chair.
Good evening. Ms. Matviva, go ahead.
Thank you. So I'm the registered agent on behalf of CAVA 152/2024, 1300 to 1350 Brownie Road. We're here to request a deferral to further work with staff.
Okay, very well.
One more hand up.
Committee members, I'm in your hands. All those in support of a deferral of CAV 152 of 2024 at 1300 to 1350 Bronte Road. Okay, the application has been deferred. You'll see the Secretary Treasurer at your earliest convenience.
Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you.
Mr. Doe, who are you here seeking to defer for?
Good evening. This is for 86 Selgrove Crescent. In light of the comments on file, the owner would appreciate the opportunity to defer to the next available hearing to allow time to reduce the eave overhangs, as well as for planning staff to formally review the changes.
Okay. This is for CAV 155 of 2024 at 86 Selgrove Road.
Correct.
All those in support of a deferral? Okay, the application has been deferred, none opposed. You'll have to see the Secretary Treasurer at your earliest convenience.
Thank you.
Anyone else, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
That's all.
Hello?
Who are you here for? Okay. All right. We'll start with the first application, which is CAV 149 of 2024 at 3427 Millicent Avenue. Again, that's CAV 149 of 2024 at 3427 Millicent Avenue. I have here listed Mr. Raman Kumar as the agent.
Hi, good evening, committee members. I'm Raman Kumar from MEM Engineering. We are the applicant for CAVA 149-2024. Address is 3427 Millicent Avenue. And we are requesting variance for below grade entrance from the exterior side yard. And the variance is 0.28 projected into required flankage yard. So this is the only variance for this application.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kumar. Are there any questions of Mr. Kumar, items of clarification? Okay, I see none. Members who would like to move the motion? Go ahead, Mr. Hardcastle, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Having undertaken my site visit, having reviewed the materials, including the written staff report, we've heard the brief comments from the applicant. I'm prepared to put forward a motion of approval, finding that the requested variance conforms to the four tests of the Act, and the construction of the below-grade stairwell will have little to no impact upon abutting properties or to the community in general. That recommendation would be subject to two conditions, those being that the dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the submitted site plan dated 2024-06-10, and that the approval expires within 2 years of the date of the decision if a building permit has not been issued.
Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. Is there discussion on this recommendation? I see none. All those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed.
Thank you so much.
And have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Application CAV 153 of 2024 at 2016 Salvatore Boulevard. And And again, that's CEV 153 of 2024 at 2016 Salvatore Boulevard. I have Mr. Castillo here as the agent.
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Castillo.
Good evening, members of the committee. My name is Gerardo Castillo from Keystone Home Designs in Oakville. I'm here as the designer and the applicant for the homeowner at sorry, the address at Salvatore
2016.
Salvatore Boulevard. And we're seeking 3 minor variances. This is for a family. Again, this is not for resale. This is for custom made for them. And the 3 variances that we're requesting, the first one is the front setback, where we need a minimum of 10 meters, and we have 9.72. The second one is lot coverage, where we are allowed to go 25%, and we're going for 26.66%. And the last one is for gross floor area. We're allowed to go 37%. Sorry, 37%, and we're seeking 39.59%. I would like to start, if you look at that site plan, this might not be, oh, this is the new one, yeah, this is the new one. There's some comments from planning. They were talking about the pool at the back. So if the staff is willing to put the presentation that I sent on the page number 3, I just wanted to clarify that we did fix that. Yeah, so if you look at on the left and on the bottom, the orange lines, those are the easements. So we relocated the pool, which was crossing some of these easements, to the back. So nothing is touching the easement. So it was something that I talked with the planner. We fixed that. Again, it has nothing to do with these variants, but they have some comments regarding that. So, okay, so regarding the first variance for the frontage, as you can see, the red line is our building envelope where we're allowed to build. You can see there the 972 meters to the front of the porch, where it's touching like a little bit of a corner of the front porch, and that's about it. The rest of the building do comply with it. It's a very, very minor variance for the front setback. Again, in this lot, as you can see, the front property line comes in a curve, and if you go to we can go to the next points, to the page number 2 of my presentation. Yeah, so you can see there the lot 2016. You can see that the lots on the west side, which is the left, all of them are a lot deeper than our lot, and therefore this is one of the reasons we needed to go for gross floor area and lot coverage, because even though it's the same street, it comes in and it takes away a lot of square footage from the lot, reducing also our backyard and reducing the front yard. So that's the main reason we had to go for lot coverage and RFA. For lot coverage, again, we have a large porch at the back, which takes some of that square footage that you don't see from the street. So therefore, the building won't be, will have a large mass. People won't see it from the street, and it's not much that we're asking for, only 1.66%, which most of it has to do with the lot coverage. The last one, which is the gross floor area, again, it's the same thing, right? Because our lot is a lot smaller as the street comes with the curb. They needed the extra space for the family and for one of the in-laws that will be living there as well, for understanding. And one of the things that we wanted to do, if you go to, I guess, our first render, which is page number 4 on the presentation, you'll see the back of the building. So what we wanted to do to avoid making this house feel like a massive house, we did, we have the center of the house as a 2-story, and at both ends we have like a sloped roof and dormers. If you can go to the next slide, and you'll see the front, it's the same situation, right? So it won't feel like a massive home. We have a story on the right side with a sloped roof, and the garage on the left side with a sloped roof as well with a dormer, to reduce the massing of the home. And if you continue with the rest of the slides, you'll see a lot of new homes that are across the street. First one to the side that just got a permit, I think about a few months ago, they started construction. If you go to the next slide, you'll see the size of these homes are basically the same or bigger because they have a bigger lot. But in terms of the width of our house, it doesn't even go to the side setback. As you can see on the page number 2, I left quite a bit of space. Sorry, page number 3 from my presentation. I left quite a bit of space on both sides that we could have gone, especially with the easement. So the house basically, my point is, from the street, it will still look like any of these other houses in the same street. It wouldn't, affect the street view, sorry, the streetscape, and so that's basically our presentation. If there's anybody that has any questions, I'm free to answer.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions of the applicants, Mr. Castillo, or any items of clarification? Okay, I see none. Who would like to move a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Tolowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'll move this application be approved as applied for, finding that it meets the test of the Planning Act. I find that despite the variances, because of the smaller size lot, that the house will be consistent with other houses in the neighborhood. And I also believe the design of the house will effectively mitigate the increase in the massing. I would note that there was no objection from the community, and I'd make that approval subject to 2 conditions: dwelling be constructed in general accordance. The elevation drawings dated July 5th, 2024. And I think Mr. Castillo showed us this drawing already, that a revised site plan be provided demonstrating that all elements are removed from the easement to the satisfaction of the Director of Planning, and that the approval expires within 2 years of the decision if a building permit has not been issued.
Thank you, Mr. Tusk. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Seeing none, all those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed. Thanks and have a good night.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Application is CAV. Okay, application CAV 156 of 2024 at 372 Stanfield Drive. Again, that's CAV 156 at 372 Stanfield Drive. I have Mr. Kovasenko as the agent for this application.
Just joining, just bear with me 1 second, please. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and committee members. My apologies for taking this from the car I'm traveling today, so this is the only way I could join. This application is for 372 Stanfield Drive in Oakville, Ontario. It's an existing dwelling. Next slide, please. And we're seeking 2 variances. One is for increased residential floor area from 37% to 40.94. And the second one is for lot coverage from 25 to 27.5. And I will just note that there was a previous committee of adjustment on this lot when the house was originally constructed. That was already previously approved in 2017 for 39% coverage. So our increase is only 1.94 from that previous committee of adjustment ruling that was previously approved. Next slide, please. This is pictures of the existing conditions. Our project is essentially seeking to add an elevator and a below-grade gym and a slight expansion of the mudroom and laundry room on the second floor to accommodate a little vestibule for the elevator. But it's in the tucked away corner of the existing home. It doesn't affect any setbacks. It doesn't protrude beyond the existing dwelling setback, either to the side or to the back. It's essentially just filling in a little corner of the lot. And then the gym expansion is going to be fully below grade. So majority of the lot coverage request is going to be below grade, actually, with no massing impact. The only massing impact will be for the elevator expansion. Next slide, please. So this is the site plan, just noting where that addition is. So the RFA, this is the site plan, which shows just the expansion of the, actually, I think it's missing a little bit of the green. I'm not sure what happened, but it's supposed to be that whole dashed section. Anyway, I'll explain better in the next slide when it gets to the first floor plan. Perhaps we can go there. What's the basement plan? Next slide, please. Okay, here we go. So this is the basement plan. So the basement will expand. We'll add the elevator and with a small vestibule, and then beyond that will be a fill-in just below grade for a gym area, and it's going to be fully roofed. And just a glazed patio. There is a large sunken patio in this property already, which was dug out with the original build. So this is taking a portion of that and just filling it in for the below grade gym area. Next slide, please. On the main floor, the RFA portion is limited only to where the elevator is and a small portion of space in front of the elevator. Otherwise, the rest of it is a covered porch on the main floor. Next slide, please. And then on the second floor, again, I shaded the whole thing just to show you the impact of the roof, but it's essentially a very small elevator and vestibule addition off of the laundry room. And in the next slide, we'll show the section of what we're proposing. Actually, that's the elevation. So the elevation just gets basically brought out in that one corner of the house. Next slide. We're matching all the materials and all the existing context of it. That's the side, so you can see the portion which is drawn in the lighter color. That's the new proposed addition. Next slide, please. And then in section, you can see the elevator basically being the RFA portion of this project, which spans from basement to the second floor. And then the gymnasium is down on the lower level and a small covered porch off the elevator on the second floor, on the main floor. We did review the staff report. We understand that we do have support from staff for both of these variances. And I do acknowledge receiving one letter of objection, or it's really a concern. It's not objection to the construction per se, but it's just the methods of material that was noted. The adjacent homeowner or the neighbor that submitted the letter, I'm not sure from which address, but noted that when this original house was being built several years ago, there was quite a bit of dust generated through the activities of construction. And they would like to avoid those issues this time around. So we have a new owner. The original owner that built the house sold his dwelling, so we're not sure what happened there. We have a new owner that's our client. They don't have a contractor yet. This addition is fairly small, but they do note, we've noted the concerns from the neighbors, and they will do what's in their power to communicate the concerns to a future contractor, and anything that can be done to mitigate dust obviously will be done. for the sake of being good neighbors. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Hovasenko. Any questions or items of clarification for the applicant? Okay, I see none. Who would like to move the motion? Go ahead, Mr. Dickey. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Based upon my review of the owner's application, site plan, the building elevation, the site visit, the owner, the consultant presentation, and the planning staff's report, I'm satisfied that the variances are minor in nature and conform to the fourth test under the Planning Act. And I put forth the motion that the application is applied for be approved, subject to the conditions that the dwelling be constructed in general accordance with the submitted site plan and elevation drawings dated October 3rd, 2024, and that the approval expires 2 years from the date of the decision. The building permit has not been issued for the proposed construction.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dickey. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Okay, all those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is CAV 113 of 2024, deferred from August the 7th of 2024. Again, that's CAV 113 2024, deferred from August the 7th at 28 Crescent Road. I have the agent Pamir Rafiq as the agent.
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair and staff members. I'm Pamir Rafiq from Lucid Homes. I'm representing my client today, who's the owner of the subject property.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. I see the trunks there. We have two variances here. One is related to the RFA. 41% is permitted, and we went up by 2.52%. The second one is the front yard setback. We went 8.54 meters is permitted, and we encroached by 0.77 meters. I'm going to keep it short. I'd like to point out that we originally had another minor variance application with the committee, and we received comments which were not favorable. And it was recommended that we should redesign this, which we've done in respect of the common staffs in order to collaborate with the planning, with the zoning department to prepare a drawing that is viewed more favorably. And we came up with this design, and I just wanted to address a couple of items on here. So obviously the RFA is a variance that is related to the size of the home. I just wanted to point out that we have no other variants that are related to height. We made sure that this is the only one. There's no lot coverage variance, the side yard setbacks are maintained. There's no height variance. We broke up the massing to ensure that the visibility of it doesn't seem like a massive block, and to give a curb appeal of a home of lesser size. We lowered the roof line to be below the second floor ceiling, and in terms of the size, we believe that it's in keeping with the homes in the neighborhood. Either way, the area and our lot is somewhat forested to create privacy and have the home not appear to the neighbors the same way. Now, we have now regarding the front yard setback variance, we have We ensured to have the second floor pushed back to ensure to have the massing broken up and also respect the variance as much as we can. The setback is related to the garage. We just want to make sure that we can fit a car in that area. And we received favorable comments from the staff, and hope that we can receive an approval today. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to address them here.
Thank you, Mr. Figo. Are there any questions or items of clarification? I see none. Has anyone called with interest for this application, Madam Secretary Treasurer?
We've had no calls.
Thank you. Okay. If there are no questions, who would like to move a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Hardcastle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Having undertaken my site visit, having reviewed the materials, including the written staff report, we heard the presentation, I'm satisfied that the requested variances conform to the four tests of the Act. Accordingly, I'll put forward a motion of approval. That motion would be subject to two standard conditions, those being that the dwelling be built in general accordance with the submitted site plan and elevation drawings dated September 19th, 2024, and that the approval will expire within 2 years of the date of the decision if a building permit has not been issued. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle. Is there a discussion on this recommendation? Okay, I see none. All those in support? Okay, the application has been approved, none opposed. Have a good night.
Good night.
We have minutes to confirm for October the 16th. Thanks, Mr. Hardcastle. And motion to adjourn at 7:32. Thank you, Mr. Hardcastle.